Welcome, guys, to another wild episode of Rotten in the Freeman Show. Rotten, man, how are you doing?
Doing so good, dude. I think that we have a pretty epic conversation we're about to have right here.
Yeah, dude. Most awkward moments, man. And you know what? I've got some real awkward ones. I don't know if they're YouTube friendly, but
Okay.
you know, I've got an awkward moment, dude, that was awkward for me and my entire family.
Okay.
And, dude, I felt really dumb and stupid, but
Lay it on me.
all right. So my most weird and awkward moment happened recently. And you know, we live in North Carolina, but we are avid Disney travelers. You know, we get
Okay.
we're pass holders for the last few years. Last year, I think we went to Disney from North Carolina like 8 different times. I mean, we go to Disney a lot. We have Universal passes and Disney passes. So there's so much to do in Orlando. And Disney is 40 square miles. But it was like the most busiest day at Disney World.
Okay.
And we just walked in Disney World, right?
Yeah.
And I got my backpack on it, and and they're ask people stop for photos, this, that, and the other. What we always bypass that. We're pass holders. We
You've
feel
seen
kind
it
of
all
highbrow
before.
when we've seen it, yeah. But we do have the photo passes. Sometimes we do stop. Yeah. But we were walking, and they are railroad tracks going down Main Street. And they do all these parades, and like the horses will come, and they're pulling a cart, but it's all on the railroad tracks. And we were trying to beat a deadline for a ride that we had reservations for. And I step on the railroad tracks, and I travel about 30 feet, fumbling and bobbling, and I scorpion right in the middle of thousands of people and make the ugliest. I was hurt, dude. I felt like I broke my hip. I felt like I broke my toe. I felt like I broke my back.
Oh my God.
And my kids were looking at me angrily, like, "Dad, what are you doing, man? Get up, get up!" And I was like, "Ugh." And all I could do was grunt. Ugh. Dude, I was in so much pain. It was like a stinging feel all over my body. And I was just hoping that a Disney person would see me first.
Yeah.
But my kids were so embarrassed. They were like, "Dad, get up now." And even the wife, dude, would not wait for me to be pampered by the Disney people, to be like, "You know what? I tripped on your railroad tracks. I might have broke my neck for the way that I felt." But it was so embarrassing. And I had to get up. And you know what? I had to be humiliated. I had to be laughed at. People they didn't even come over to help me. Nobody. They just looked at me like I was stupid, dude. But I scorpion, dude. I swear I kicked the back of my head. I bent so hard.
Oh,
but it was ugly because I bumped into a couple people and I was out of control, dude. And when I hit, I just dove for it, man. And when I hit on my chest, it was like ballet, dude. My feet curved over and kicked the back of my head, dude.
Yeah.
That mess was crazy. That was probably the most awkward, embarrassing moment
Oh man.
of recent times, man. That
Oh, it got
at
me
Disney
teared
World,
up.
dude, it's the happiest place on earth, and here I am. So now we have a running gag about, would you do this in public or would you do this in public? So I've got the best story because I scorpion in front of every. I didn't plank or nothing like that. I scorpion with a in front of every in Disney World, right in front of the castle, man.
Yeah,
dude, it was ugly because right there on Main Street is so crowded, dude. There's thousands of people just on that little quarter-mile stretch.
Oh my God!
Walking between the ice cream parlor and the candy shop and the magic shop.
Right.
And here I am, I'm like, drop the mic, man. Scorpion, bam, in front of everybody. I got bigger gonads than my boys. And it was out of the blue, dude. And I rolled my ankle. Dude, it was ugly.
So what, did you just slip on the tracks or what?
Well, there's gaps in the track. So when I stepped on it, my foot slipped. And then it was like craziness.
Going in.
I should have got a score for that.
Yeah.
But not one Disney official.
8.7.
Not one cast member saw me because I was like, "Oh my God, they're gonna come running out, and I'm gonna be pampered." You know what? I'm gonna get pedicures and manicures. Yeah. That was an awkward moment for me. So, Rotten, man, awkward and embarrassing. What's something that you've done that is hard to go back on?
Hard to go back on. That
I
one.
embarrassed my family, dude.
That one got me.
They held their head. You know what? Whenever I'm buried, they'll probably be saying that at my eulogy.
Oh man!
About how I embarrassed the family by almost killing myself.
Yeah.
Oh,
at your eulogy. That's hilarious.
They didn't care.
That one time.
You know what, Dad? It don't matter. You broke your neck. Get up. Get up. Get up, Dad.
Yeah. Only your loved ones will force you to get up when you have a broken neck. Yeah.
It was the
Forced all the air, all the man
dude,
air
I
out.
felt like I was in a car wreck the next day. I was sore all week from that, man. I should have got some Disney dollars or something. Free ice cream. I was wanting, but those tracks are dangerous, man.
When I was a little kid, riding your bike was the biggest thing. I just got a new bike. It's from REI. We're not sponsored, but man, this is a pretty sweet bike.
Right.
But when I was a kid, I loved to ride my bike. Any bike that I could get a hold of. My sister's bike with a little pink basket on the front. Didn't matter.
I like to ride my bike.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all day, every day. I loved riding bikes. So my dad, out the kindness of his heart, got me a dog while I was at school. It was a shared dog. I had 7 brothers and sisters, but it was there waiting for me to get home and see me and be happy for me when I got there. And it was one of those days, it was just about to start raining. And so I left the school on my bike that was too big for me. And I start pedaling, and I'm going back and forth as fast as I can. I'm pedaling as fast, as hard as I can. My little heart's beating.
Get home, man.
Yeah. And it was so cool, man, because it was one of the few times in life where the rain would follow you. You could see it coming, but it hasn't quite hit you yet. It's like a sheet of rain is coming. So I was pedaling.
You were effing fast, dude.
I was effing fast, brother. Every day when I would get home, as fast as I could ride my bike, I would jump the ditch. I'd go down the ditch and jump up the other side and then bail off my bike and just land on my feet and run up to the sliding door to get inside the house.
That's badass, man. Of course.
It made me feel good. That's what it made me feel, like a stunt man from Fall Guy. But I was riding, I could see my yard coming. I could see the rain coming from behind me, and I was doing my best to get out of this rain. So I go down one side of the ditch, and on the up side of the ditch, I noticed a dog line that my dad tied between 2 trees, and it clotheslined me so hard. It launched my bike clear out in front of me, and I could see my feet in front of me too, because it caught me right there on my neck. And so it caught me, dude, and flung me down hard, bam, on the ground. And I was choking out. I felt like I was going to die. Here's another real short one. And I'll throw this in.
Right. And then I got a quick dog story.
Okay. And I'll open with, Mom, I'm sorry I got to tell this story. I apologize, but this is a good one, dude.
Right.
I get home from school one day. I bail off my bike. I know where to duck my head at. So I bail off the bike and I walk in through the sliding glass door. And there's my mom standing at the kitchen sink, and she's crying, dude. And I'm like, what is going on? So immediately I put down my backpack and I go towards the kitchen to see what's going on.
Right.
I didn't get half a step inside that kitchen, and I smelled this fog of poison hit my nostrils, and my eyes immediately started watering. And so there's 2 of us crying in the kitchen. I'm like, what is and what's going on here? Man, my mom let one go, and she let one go right before I came home from school, and it made her cry.
It made her tear up, and you tear up, dude.
No, I mean, that's the kind of outburst you have when you're raising 8 kids, man. It got her and it got me too. Smell like rotten eggs, man. I can't forget that.
Yeah, man. Gosh, man. Moms let them roll. Moms are not as innocent as they seem, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Mom.
Dude, you were talking about that. Yeah, you were talking about big dogs real quick before we go.
Yeah.
We had a huge dog before we had kids, right? Me and Freeman Mommy, we've been together since 93. We're in our 30th year together. We were together 9 years and got married. But she always wanted a Weimaraner dog. And her Weimaraner dog is Great Dane and Bloodhound, right? They're these silver-looking dogs. William Wegman does all these calendars of Weimaraners. Yeah. But ours was named Lexus. And Lexus was a huge dog. Great Dane, Bloodhound, right? They're mixed. Okay. And, Lexus would stand on her hind legs. She'd put her paws on my shoulder, and she would look down. I would look up to her, and she'd look down. She was that big of a dog.
Wow.
Well, dude, back in them days, it was days of ramen noodle weeks. You had to eat ramen noodles for a week because the concert was coming up. You were trying to save money. You were trying to do this, trying to do that. Well, I got the most badass coat, dude. This coat I absolutely loved, and it was wintertime. and I'd always walk the dog, right? But I was proud about this coat that I'd got.
Okay.
And brand new coat. I saved up for it. I got the coat. You know, whenever I wore it, people would be like, man, that's a really nice coat. I like things like that. I like nice things. You know, I was bullied as a kid because my shoes didn't have Converse on it. So now I like nice things. So I saved up to get this coat. And I had it about a week. And one night I was walking the dog. And, dude, my hands were so cold. So I put my hands in my pocket, right?
Okay.
And I was walking Lexus, you know, this big freaking dog, female dog, big dog. So we were walking, and I didn't realize she had saw a rabbit. So I had one of those retractable leashes, right?
Yeah.
So it would stretch out like 20 feet, and it had a brake on it where you could push your thumb and stop the dog.
Yeah.
Well, I saw her take off running, and I was like, man, she's going after a rabbit. And about that time, I punched through my coat because my hand was in my pocket, right?
Yeah.
So I punched through the coat. And
my gosh.
It ripped it from my shoulder to my waist. And it broke my coat in half and ruined my new coat, man. And I never got to wear it again.
Oh,
but you know, I had my hands in my pocket, and it was like boom, and bat jerked me down, dude. But I was so upset, man. I was so proud of that coat. I was so happy about that coat. I love that coat. You know, I would be like, I want the dog so I could wear my coat. Punch through the pocket, man. But you know how it is when you're cold and you got your hands in your pocket. Well, imagine, you know, if a 140-pound dog. You know, you see her running, and you know the leash is going to run out, but you never think you're going to punch through your nice coat you just bought. But
oh my gosh, that's hilarious!
You are listening to Writing in the Freeman Show. Follow me everywhere at Freeman Daddy 5, and where else can we be found writing in yourself?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Eddie Rotten. You can find me at Rotten in the Freeman Show, and on YouTube, please go on Rotten in the Freeman Show and like and subscribe. That's very important. Got to do it. Like and
subscribe, and also leave comments of topics you want us to talk about. We're doing a kind of a trial run of a bunch of 10-minute segments, but Writing in the Freeman Show is out.
Gangnam Style.